Hello, my name is Noelle. I am a writer, screenwriter, poet, author, Substack, essayist, all of that, filmmaker, and actress. I am also very much a type B to type C personality, and I thought I would do a planner comparison between this, which is my standard go-to preferred everything planner for the past 4 years, and this, which is a planner that I actually got for $2 at Barnes & Noble when they had their planner sale in February of the year, because this is a 2026 and we were already well into 2026 at that point. So first I just want to kind of show how I set up my standard versus how I'm in progress of setting this up for a week in my life as a writer. This is a weekly planner and I love it. I went ahead and covered Saturday and Sunday on this because there is personal information for someone who is not me written there, and their plans and the internet, so that has been covered. This is kind of how the weekly setup looks on this, and then here is an overview of the monthly, and here I've got, you know, some of my plans, my writing stuff written down there, which I haven't color coordinated. As you can see, I have a week off from one of my big projects and big things, but I truly have yet, as of right now, the 9th, to fill in any of the big information for the month. But that is not something I am able to take on at the moment, because I'm instead going to, actually no, there are two things that I need to add in here. What am I saying? This is where the type B comes out. I did not add that I have a coffee lecture on the morning of the 29th, and I am seeing Shakespeare in the park that night, so I need to actually mark that in. So I think it's at 10 a.m. And then this is play S. Then I don't even know the times. But funny enough, I have to bring a picnic, so that's funny that there's a picnic there. I am filming that night, which I need to highlight. It's an overnight. And then actually on Tuesday, wrong color, I have an event now at Soho House that I have to attend. So I need to mark that. Soho, 6 p.m. Okay, the rest of this I will get to. YouTube videos, we'll check, working on that. So then flipping back to this week, this is my favorite part of the planner is this page, actually, because I can work on all of this here. I like having a habit tracker. I like highlighting my wins. My gratefuls is a huge one because I can just scroll. Oh my god, it sounds like I've been online all day. I swear I'm trying to break my internet habits. I can flip through the book and find all my gratitudes for the year and just really take stock of things that consistently showed up for me and to really fulfill that part of my life more. Very similarly with the wins over here, which is just really see and track my growth and the things that filled my cup. Because you find that as the year progresses and you try to fill all these boxes, they're not going to be material things that are repeatedly filling it. It's not going to be like, I got a huge bonus today, or, you know, blah, blah, blah. A lot of it's just going to be like, I went to the park 3 times this week. My cat slept on top of me. Like, they get very, very sweet, like on the lower half here throughout the year. And I really, really appreciate that. I love that there's a personal versus just general priorities, because this really allows me to focus. Oh, my kitty cat's moving. Hi, kitty. To focus on making sure that there's time for me. As the eldest daughter in my family, I am very bad at prioritizing myself, so that's really nice. And then here is how I set up the week. So I already have a bunch of YouTube video ideas planned. I already know that a lot of these are going to get cut. This one on Tuesday, I very well may not get around to, just because I now have to add going to the Soho House event. Same thing with the costumes. Those just might be things I have to bump to another day in order to meet the priority list. Because I actually have to go to Soho House at 6 p.m., but I have to meet my friend who I'm going with before at 5:30, so I have to mark that accordingly. And then kind of like box it so I see that. And then the to-do list, as you can see, I have no real rhyme or reason to how I do these things. It's just kind of like what floats to the top gets written down. Costume choices I also need to highlight. I have synesthesia, so I really focus on colors because colors is just an easier way for me to think. It's kind of how my brain organically thinks and processes everything. So right here I actually need to do in this color, which signifies my work. Okay, so my storage was full, so I had to delete a bunch of things, which this always happens when I am in book promo mode. I swear having so many TikTok drafts just eats my storage up. But as I was saying, these are my work ones. These are everything related to film and TV. Yes, I also will use this for highlighting script work, which is perhaps not something that other people would do. Like over here in this little to-do list thing, this is a script, so I need to highlight that with this because I am rewriting it with the producer notes. And then this I use for YouTube, so this over here actually is going to do that because I have a bunch of things that I need to work on. Everything related to book writing, Substack, basically any writing that is not film or television or journaling is marked with this. Anything that's like journaling or personal growth, personal just to me, will generally be purple unless it's miscellaneous, and then it is yellow. And then there is blue, which blue's everything, social, friends, birthdays, that type of thing. And then there is this color. I am not sure how this ended up in my highlighter pouch. I think this is from when I was doing specific producing projects for a podcast, and then I just never took it out. But so there you go, that's the general. Also the yellow will also be a doctor's appointments, family commitments, that's kind of things that I need to write down. And then I always use a super, like a 0.5 tip on this just so I have more room for everything. And see, I will even highlight and color coordinate this over here. So for the most part, that's kind of what this will look like. Like I will also write in things like BGM, that is my current book. And, you know, I need to add like studying Hungarian to the list because I really need to work on Hungarian. Wednesday is a good day for that, even though I know a bunch of things are going to get pushed to Wednesday. Add Hungarian to the list. And then what else do I need? Honestly, a lot of this is going to fill in a lot, and I know a lot of this is going to fill in because as I was showing in a separate video, I was working on this planner, which is new to me. It's not one I normally use. I'm testing it out because I got it on sale for $2, and now is the perfect time to break it in. So currently, since this is not my go-to, this was just a sale purchase, I have started filling this in. I like how there is a picnic theme here, just as there is a picnic theme here. I don't know why August is a picnic month to me, but August is a picnic month. This is how an hourly breakdown, to the best of my abilities for the week, would look. And yet again, as you can see, I have really only plotted Monday. I do not have a rigid schedule for the rest of the week except for yoga, which I didn't put in this one actually, which I need to add. Yoga at 9:45. And so that's a little funny. It's a little... So on a whole, that's very much what a freelance week for me looks like, because I'm kind of all over the place. Literally everything is changing. Really quick about the supplies that I use. I almost exclusively use the Sharpie S-Note highlighters for my planner, though I will use the zebras sometimes. I do love the zebras. I just think I'm a little more precious with them, and so I prefer to use it when I'm highlighting books, scripts, kind of the material that I don't know, I feel like I have more of like a legacy attachment to, and legacy by just being like something that I may inevitably like look back on professionally, go back to my career when I was in Write Girl, which is like a writing program for teens. They took us to the Huntington and really talked to us about Octavia Butler and the archival work and storage of her stuff. And not to say I am Octavia Butler, like I would be incredibly lucky to be a half or even a quarter of the writer and human being that she was and have any of the impact that she has had. But it still taught me to, out of respect for historians, for archivists, for your future self who may look back upon this, for your family, to really be intentional early on in your habits with your writing and the materials that you use. And so this is something that I'm a little more precious with, which is just a me thing. There's no wrong answer to any of this, but I use those. I will put in the link down below. This planner, if I can find this online, I will, though I do know that it normally retails for a very expensive price. This one I normally get for about $20 to $25, but some colors, like the nicer colors, can be more expensive, especially depending on the time of year that you buy. This one is dated. This is undated, so I actually write in all of the dates, you know, myself, which I do like because I feel like it just gives it a much longer shelf life. I love the huge map at the back, the area for me to like put in my movie list, which is also color coordinated. This one does have a back section, but I haven't put as much into it because I think that the hourly nature of this just makes it so much harder for me compared to this, which is just much better structured for me and allows for more flexibility in rearranging everything. Though I do want, as the demands of my professional career get more intense, to utilize this one more and give it a go. But I don't think I'll end up long term being a two planner person. I think that come 2027 I'll probably stick to this and use this full time. And then I could see myself getting a agenda like this if I am working on specific projects, if I am balancing multiple projects. Like, let's say I've got one book that I'm in deadlines to get to my editor, another book that's being, you know, released. I have producers meetings on a production. Like, if I'm really getting into the nitty-gritty of balancing my life and am not in a position to like have an assistant manage all of that for me, which, like, let's face it, who does? I could see this becoming more routine, which is kind of like why right now, when I'm in a low pressure, lower stakes point of my life, to familiarize myself with this and create systems. But this, I think, will forever be my baby. Like, I've even thought about, if this goes out of production, perhaps buying 2 or 3, just like, since they're undated, to just have, so that I can give myself time to like transition out of it. But yeah, I truly recommend this. Again, I don't think planners can change your whole life, but for me, balancing 3 such different careers with such intense demands while also trying to show up for friends and family and my life, having this really just, it gives me a lot of free space in my brain to actually write. And like, even now as I'm saying it, I realized like I want to go see the Spider-Man movie again, and I need to go see The Invite still. So I need to put a list and seeing a movie with my sister on here with Cece. I'll figure that out. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Stick around. I have a lot of exciting videos coming up, as you guys kind of saw, and there's a lot more reaction videos coming up. And if you are subscribed to my Substack, I have some really, really great writer and filmmaker content that I'm really loving, that I've been really diligently working on writing, especially since so many of you seem really excited for more of that from me. So without further ado, thank you so much for watching. If you like what I make, you are encouraged to subscribe because it just makes it easier to not fight the algorithm to find my next video. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and yeah,